All right, very good. Well, hello everyone. Again, my name is Thanh Dombroe. I am a professional coordinator and a certified trainer with Market America, which basically says that I have the ability to go around and teach the certification training, which makes sure that we all make money, which is always a bonus. As a professional coordinator, it means I've earned in excess of $4,500 in a 4-week pay period with the company. Today's conference call is going to be on the Getting Started Guide. I have recently brought on board a new distributor, Wesley, and we'll be going through the Getting Started Guide. I strongly suggest using the Getting Started Guide with all of your new distributors to make sure that people get put on the correct path and are doing things that are necessary and needed to be successful with the business. So, Wesley, thank you very much for being on the call today.
All right. Thanks for having me.
I apologize for making you the guinea pig for the conference call today, but I think that in the end, I think this is going to be a great tool that everybody's going to be able to use. So just to confirm, you have the Getting Started Guide in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and go to the first page.
All right.
Once again, I'd like to congratulate you and thank you for starting your own business, because for myself, one of my goals to build my business is to help other people build theirs. And so whenever I identify a new business partner that wants to move forward, that wants to do something different, and is willing to take the time, energy, and effort to do that, it's always an exciting thing for me. With the Getting Started Guide today, we're going to go through sort of different contents of it, including developing your own franchise. We'll talk about your why and a goal statement, and the next call that we'll have, we'll go through the follow-up appointment, the home assessment, and the audio curriculum.
Okay.
As far as social media is concerned, be sure to like us on Facebook through Market America and/or Shop.com on Facebook. I don't know if you are a Twitter person or not. I try. I don't do very well, but I have my account. I do what I can. It's a growing trend, so it's something that I know I need to be a part of. But I don't know if you do you use Twitter at all?
No, I don't. Just
No?
Facebook only and Instagram.
Okay, very cool. And do you know anything about Pinterest?
Very little.
Okay, good. We're in the same boat then.
Just mainly Facebook is mainly what I mess with. That's about it.
Very cool. And then there's Google Plus and then LinkedIn. Social media can be a great outlet for your business. The one key that I'm going to say now, and I'll probably reiterate it again later, is don't be weird. I think social media is a great place to build rapport, build relationships, identify needs, but it's not a place to actively promote your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. You don't want to become a Farmville request.
Exactly. The biggest keys I think with social media is that you share your story. I had great results. My allergies aren't bothering me anymore. That's awesome. Generate some interest. And then when people start to ask, well, what are you doing or what are you taking or something along those lines, rather than publicly promoting it, through that comments or what have you, what I would suggest doing is taking it to a private message. So that, because if people feel like you're always just selling stuff online, they start to ignore you.
That's true.
Think of it in terms of a commercial during TV. If you're watching a show, a commercial comes on board, 90% of the time you tune it out. You're not paying attention.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you're just used to them trying to sell you stuff for 2 minutes and 2 seconds, So make it about them. Ask them questions, and we'll talk about more what types of questions to ask later. But don't be weird. It's okay to share your successes and things like that, but again, don't be weird. If you think it might be weird, don't do it.
I agree.
With LinkedIn and YouTube, YouTube is great because there's tons of videos out there that you can see profiles of senior business partners or successful franchise owners. There are product videos out there, short little clips on individual products. So go through YouTube. With YouTube, I do also have an account out there. I just completed a video webinar that goes through the pre-registration. So right before somebody comes on board, we go through all of the costs. What is it going to take to start your own franchise with the subscription fee, the BD, the monthly requirements, transfer by, trainings, conventions, etc. It's only a 19-minute video, which is nice because it's short enough that when you have a prospective business partner and they're ready to come on board, please treat this like a business. Be upfront with them so that they know what to expect. If you have to come back, or they have to come back to you 6 months from now and say, hey, Wesley, you didn't tell me about this. You don't want that.
Yeah.
That's going to create a bad name for you, and it's going to put a bitter taste in your mouth.
That's no way to do business, really.
Absolutely not. So, and maybe that's just because of my background that I feel like that. It's not about just getting people on board, getting them into business. I want to make sure that they know what they're going to be doing. They know what it's going to take to be successful with it, et cetera. So, from there, Market America information. There are some key phone numbers here that you're going to want to take note of, but I'm going to tell you not to call. The Market America corporate, you can call them if I can't answer the question or any other senior business partner can't answer the question, then you go to them, okay, when it comes to your business. The premise of our business is that we are, a group of entrepreneurs that are helping each other be successful. And think of it in terms of we have 180,000 franchise owners. So if every one of them were to call corporate whenever there was an issue, nothing would ever get done in corporate. So
that's very true.
They want us to be your first line for answers. Now, from there, though, if you have computer support issues, let's say you're having problems on your website, something's not working, you can't log in, it's a computer, things happen. So go ahead and call them for those things. When you call distributor services for something another distributor should have been able to answer for you, it actually is a tick mark against us for region of the year. And so we want to make sure the field leaders are taking care of those questions before it gets to corporate. When it comes to computer problems or product issues, feel free to call the company. All the packages, when they get shipped out from Market America, they're all weighed, okay? And so each based on the invoice, what's supposed to be in that box, and what actually gets shipped out for the weight of that box, 99.9% of the time it's correct. But it's still human interaction there. So something might not be in there. If that happens, not a problem. Don't worry about it. If it happens to your customer, don't worry about it. All you do is you call up the shipping department or the product department, and they will have it automatically shipped out for you. This product wasn't here. Can you ship out another one? Not a problem. The other thing too is if something breaks, we have when you ship aloe and some of the other heavier things, it gets jostled around. UPS drivers don't really seem to care.
Yeah.
They just kind of make sure the package gets there kind of in one piece. If there's something that is wrong with a product, go ahead and call. Market America takes care of it. Our fax line, you probably rarely have to use that. Beyond that, we have contact information. When I said that, you should be going to the field and talking to your senior business partners first, this is where you're going to go. I'm not going to go through, actually, I guess I will go through this with you, but when your new distributors come on board, they will get an email from Market America right away. Within that email, you're going to get a list of 5 senior certified executive coordinators. You also get the upline certified trainer and advisory council member. So that would kind of be your chain of command before you call distributor services. But I'll tell you right now, if I can't answer the question, if other leaders within the organization can't answer the question, there's probably not an answer to the question. and I'm not trying to boast. I'm just saying that I've been on board now for 9 years. I've seen almost everything happen, and so I mean, it's whether it's happened to me or someone else, I've pretty much seen it all happen. So on this page, for your senior independent shop consultant information, you can put my name there.
All right.
And then you have my email and phone number already. As a senior executive coordinator, from you have Emily Hauk. And I'm just going to give you names. Offline, I'll give you all the actual contact information.
Okay.
Sorry to everybody listening to the call. From there, you'll also have Joe Beavers, Denise Leakis, Dan and Denise Leakis, Cal Schultz, and then you've already actually talked to Sayan in regards to web centers. All great leaders within the organization. I'm sure I've missed a few, but those are all different people that you can talk to. Senior Advisory Council member, that person is Arlene Lowy. I have not had to call her ever. But at least you know who it is. Your local coordinator, I don't even know who your local coordinator is in Virginia there, but we're going to get you plugged into what we need to for upcoming trainings, et cetera. I believe when I looked, there wasn't a whole lot in your area. So we're going to utilize the internet for a lot of your education and for building your business. The internet and webinars. So let's go to the next page. I guess this would technically be page 1 in developing your unfranchised business. When sitting down with people, a lot of times I will go through the Getting Started guide before they come on board, because I think sometimes it's important for them to see ahead of time some of the commitments, some of the things, the expectations that are necessary. I was able to find out a lot of these things with you, Wesley, before you came on board. I didn't specifically go through the Getting Started guide, but I asked you a lot of the questions. Okay? Yeah. So as far as the commitment, no matter who comes on board, you want to make sure that they're going to make at least a 1-year commitment to building their own franchise. Because the reality of things is most traditional businesses are not profitable within the first 3 to 5 years, okay, if they become profitable at all. With your Market America and your unfranchised system, if you follow the system, if you do the things that the system says, not the things that I tell you to do. I'm not going to have you do anything different than what the Getting Started guide tells you. But if you follow the system, you can make your business profitable within the first 90 days. And basically that means selling all the products that you had when you first came on board. For yourself, selling a website. You sell a website, you're completely in the black right off the bat. Yeah. So following it for 1 year. So when I talk to people, I want to make sure that they're going to go through and follow the proven business plan for 12 months. That does not mean be in the business for 12 months. That means following the system, okay? There's a lot of people that think that they're building the business, but they're actually not doing anything. And it's important that they actually do the tasks that are necessary. As far as the time commitment, 8 to 15 hours a week. And it can be adjusted based on the individual. Some people don't have 15 hours a week. Some people have 30 hours a week. So no matter what it is, though, we can maximize their time with how they're building the business. Now, I think when I talked to you, you said about 10 hours a week. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's correct.
Great. So within that 10 hours, we're going to lay out, okay, this is what you should be doing to build your business. purchase a ticket to the next national meeting training seminar system. Basically, that could be a local event, a regional event, world conference, or international convention. And I know that we had discussed you coming up to Greensboro. That is, no, it's down to Greensboro, right? For our international convention. In my business, when you come on board, for me to work with you, that's a requirement. That you have to go. And here's why. I have a large organization. And if I work with somebody that doesn't make the commitment to themselves to go to these events, why would I want to work with them? Because if they don't go, they're probably not going to know the new things that are coming out. They're not going to be able to network with the team. They're not going to be able to really create that belief system within the business. If they're willing to commit to themselves, that means that I know that they're going to be around for a while. They're going to do the things that are necessary. So when you talk to people and you bring people on board, have them make that commitment. Yes, it's a $200 ticket to go. But if it took a $200 investment for their own business, it's not a rah-rah meeting. It's not, hold hands and sing kumbaya, okay? I mean, if you're into that, cool, but that's not what we do. All right? But it's about making sure that that's what the system says. The system says you go to the major event. If I sell you a ticket to the major event, I'm not making any money on that. It doesn't do me any good. It's about getting you there so that you can get the information so that you can be excited and motivated and build your business. The major events like that, they're about 90% educational. So you're going to learn about products. You're going to learn about the business. You're going to learn the tools, that kind of thing. The other part, and the products. The other 10%, there's got to be some motivation. But I think that the majority of the motivation that occurs when you go to these events is because of the education. When you come back, you can do something with it. Where if it's just, hey, you can do it, great job, you deserve the best, that kind of thing. As soon as you get off the plane or you get home, that feeling is not there anymore. But if you're educated, you can take that and move forward. From there, we have going to yourshop.com site and creating a My List, listening to audios. You got your MP3 player, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Have you been able to charge it and then start listening to audios yet?
I haven't listened to no audios yet. Basically, I've just been going through the career manual and just watched business presentation DVD to see if it was, any different from what I had seen before.
Okay. And what did you think of the DVD that was in there?
I liked it. I mean, I think they should update it because I think it's a little behind time. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Cool. That video that they did for presenting the business plan, I think it's a 26-minute video. That was done probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I have been talking with corporate or with some of the corporate team members at least, and the new video should be coming out within the next couple months at the latest. It'll be downloadable at first, and then as new people come on board, it'll be part of the new subscription kit. What's nice about the new video is that it is updated, but it's also shorter. I believe it's 18 or 19 minutes. As long as they get the points across, I'm happy, right?
Yeah.
For the audios, for the MP3 player, there is an audio curriculum. Basically, what I want you to do is I just want you to be listening to audios consistently. There are different methodologies on how people listen to audios. Some people will, I'll start at audio number 1, and I'm going to go till 132 until they're all done. I'm actually going to suggest not doing that because I don't think you're going to get a whole lot out of it. What I'm going to suggest doing is looking through, picking a few that appeal to you specifically and or your needs. Because there are some people that have never sold before. There are some people that have never been a part of a network marketing company before. So you might want to tailor the audios. Know what audios are there, especially for your new people, but tailor it for that individual and what underneath that they might have. When it comes to audios, what I do is I take 2 audios a week, sometimes even 1, but I keep listening to that one all week long. And for me, the best time to do it is when I'm in my car. I don't listen to a whole lot of radio, haven't for 9 years. But this way, I'm always educating myself or refreshing myself on some of the things that need to be relearned, retaught, taught, whatever it takes. It doesn't always have to be a Market America audio, by the way. There are some things that you want to teach yourself. Like right now, I'm listening to audios on social media and how to maximize and monetize social media. The audios that I would suggest for you right off the bat, and this is pretty generalized for most people. This is a good start. The Basic 5. It's the Basic 5 fundamentals on how we built the business. There are 2 different versions of the Basic 5 that are on the MP3 player. There's one version that is 8 CDs long, or 8 audios long, and the other one is 2. I'm going to suggest going with the one that's 2. It was one of the original. It was the original Basic 5 that J.R. Ridinger, our CEO and president, had recorded. Actually, did it in a restaurant. It was cool because he was actually teaching people when he did it. He wasn't just talking into a mic. And that I believe will give you the core pieces of what you need for the Basic 5. Beyond that, there's always great stuff from Frank Kiefer. He is a tremendous leader in the organization, in the company. He's got an audio out there called Overcoming Objections. A lot of us have come encounter with objections, and so these are great ways to overcome them. When it comes to motivation, you want to get a little bit excited, listen to Elizabeth Weber. She's the top money earner in the company. Currently, she's an international field chairman, which means she's earned in excess of $125,000 in a 4-week pay period. Not bad. Okay. It's her claim to fame, or one of her best audios is "It's Only a Matter of Time." So I would listen to that. And then there's also an older audio called "Lead the Parade." Then that would be another good one. So if you listen to those few, I think that'll be a great start for you. Okay. All right. From there, convert your spending into earning. Basically, we buy stuff. As consumers, we buy things all the time. So why not buy it from ourselves through our website? Transfer our buying habits from what we would normally buy from a different store to buying our exclusive products through Market America, and then paying ourselves, getting them at wholesale at the same time. And then we'll go through the home assessment on page 6 in a little while. So from there, important dates to have in your appointment book. UVPs. In your area, there aren't a lot of UVPs, and that's okay. This is basically the public presentation of our business plan, our business model. Basically go through background on the company, background on the products, and then it also goes through the compensation plan. It's almost, as far as the PowerPoint slides, it's almost the exact same presentation that you saw on the webinar that I gave you. Okay? I know with the Jim Winkler webinar, he adds in a few things with shopping online, but it's that same presentation. Because we just got a new presentation not too long ago within the last couple of weeks, I will be re-recording a new one so that you'll also be able to use mine. And then I'll also give a profile on there and that kind of. From there, new distributor, Basic 5. Those are 2 of the 3 required trainings. Actually, the third one is the executive coordinator certification training. The new distributor training is going to be your nuts and bolts, policies and procedures, things that you need to make sure that your business runs smoothly from an administrative standpoint. You can take that and the Basic 5 online. You can do it through your back office. It works for people that are in remote areas. if you have the ability to go to a local training where you can watch that or see a speaker give the training, do that, because that way there's interaction and you can ask questions. I have recorded a couple of my new distributor Basic 5 trainings, and so you can go out to Ustream and watch those. Either myself or Ty are training with those. The Executive Coordinator Certification Training, at the current time, you have to take that class in person. You can't take it online. I know they're talking about making it so you can take it online. The only challenge with that is you never, from an administrative standpoint, you don't know who's actually taking the test that's at the end of that training.
That's true.
So we want to, I believe in education. I believe that making sure that, Wesley, now that you're on board and you're starting to build your business, that you get all the education that you need and you do it. Not me, I give you the information, but you understand it, you learn the education that's behind it. With the Executive Coordinator Certification Training, that is a class where there is a test at the end of it. The reason there's the word certification in there is because you have to take a test. Don't worry about the test, though, because it is open book, open note. So the goal is not to make you fail. The goal is to make sure that you understand the information. The cost on those trainings for the new distributor Basic 5, it's $15 each if you do them in person. If you do them online through your back office, I believe they're $5 each.
Okay.
The ECCT, that is $50 the first time you take it, and then $25 every time thereafter. I mentioned retakes. Why would you want to retake any one of the trainings? Well, the reality is that your business is going to evolve. And so when you first come on board, there are certain things that your mind is looking for. And so that's what you're going to hear. As you hear these things, it's going to make sense, but other things aren't going to make sense. That's why you go back. Also, as you develop your organization and you meet new people and new people come on board, if you can, the best thing you can do is go with them to the trainings. Or if you're going to do it online, do the training online with them again so that you can answer questions for them as they're going along. Just like as you're going to go through the trainings, whether they're my webinars that I've created or you do it online, when you have questions, my goal is for you to call me and say, hey, what about this doesn't make sense? How could I understand this better? Okay.
Okay.
Local seminars. I think we found out that there were a couple of them. I wouldn't say around you, but the 4 to 5 hours away. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I commend you in saying, yes, it's far away, but I will do what I can to get there. It's funny because in my area, my seminar is 7 minutes away. All right.
That's nice.
There are several hundred people, probably upwards of 500 distributors in our local area, and some of them won't even make that 7-minute drive.
Wow.
Okay. Maybe it's a half hour. Maybe it's 45 minutes. Maybe it's an hour. But someone like you, you're like, I want to build my business. I'm going to drive that 5 to 7 hours. I'm going to drive, whatever it takes to make my business successful, and I give you a ton of credit for that. And then we talked about World Conference and International Convention. Let's see, did I give you the dates for International Convention yet?
Yeah, but give me one more time. I'm going to write it on the sheet.
Okay, great. The date for International Convention in Greensboro, North Carolina is August 8th through the 10th.
All right.
And then
I got it written down.
Usually what we will do, at least a lot of people from Wisconsin, because we're from Wisconsin, a lot of us will come down early. So a lot of people normally come in on Wednesday, but like myself, a bunch of others will come down on Tuesday. And that way we can have the whole day to enjoy the day and then stay for the convention Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And actually I think this year a bunch of us are riding our Harleys to come down. So it's a nice 950-mile ride. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, World Conference. The dates typically on that are the first weekend in February in Miami. Okay.
All right.
I don't know what those dates would be or are at this point, but typically they're about that. This year, probably the earliest that it had ever been. It started January 31st. All right, result-producing activities. For yourself, these are the things that you're going to want to make sure you put in the book, in your calendar, and get some of these things going. You being long distance from me, it doesn't make it any more difficult or any easier, to build your business. You just have to utilize technology a little bit more to be successful with it, okay? So, product previews. For yourself, a product preview might be a little bit different because you are focusing more on the Web Center program. But as you develop your business, not everybody is going to be interested in selling websites.
True.
So some of them may have interest in health and nutrition, weight management, excuse me, motives. So these individuals, you're going to want to make sure that they set up product previews. In our health and nutrition world right now, we're calling our product previews wine and wellness parties. For our motives, we're calling it a motives cocktail party. For TLS, it's just weight management. It is what it is. Okay, but this way, we're trying to make it a little bit more appealing, rather than saying, and forgive me if I'm knocking another business by any means, it's a Tupperware party or it's a candle party or it's this, we're trying to kind of move away from that a little bit so it's not just one of those things again. Have you had an opportunity to, actually, let me go back to the product preview. With the product previews, what the majority of us are doing right now is trying to make this as duplicatable as possible so that anybody can do them. For our health and nutrition store, basically all that entails at this point is somebody stands up in front of the room, say thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Talk a little bit about the company. Our company's been around for 20 years. And we talk about the product brokerage concept a little bit. And we talk about how, we don't manufacture our products because it makes sense if you want to be the best of the best in multiple areas, you can't manufacture the product. There's no way you can be that good. So by finding the best manufacturers for our products, we can be good in multiple areas. Today we're going to talk about health and nutrition. And then you might talk about isotonics a little bit for about another minute. And then you push play on a video. And then the video will go through the whys of why you need to supplement, why you need different products. And then it'll go through some of the products. And with all of our health and nutrition products right now, the way most people are selling products is through kits. We have an anti-stress kit. We have an energy kit. We have a daily essentials kit or an optimal wellness kit. So we have kits to put together, and by doing that, the company actually puts those kits together for us, and they can get tremendous discounts by buying it in a kit rather than buying it as individual products. So it's pretty cool. And then there's also a detox kit and a few others. Any questions on that so far?
No.
Okay. The next item is Shop Buddy. Have you had an opportunity to download Shop Buddy yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Are you a Mac guy or are you a PC guy?
PC.
Okay, good. And the reason I say that is we're currently on the Apple platform. Shop Buddy does not work with Safari. So if you know anybody that are Mac people and they're trying to download Shop Buddy on that, then just let them know that they can't do it. They can still get cash back. They can still generate IBV for you, but they have to go through your shop.com site first and then go to can you tell I have a 3-year-old at home? She's amazing, so I really can't say anything bad about it. So they can still earn cash back. Now, are you familiar with what Shop Buddy is and how Shop Buddy works?
A little bit. I mean, I've seen a few videos about it, but
okay.
not nothing that's really in depth.
Okay. The Shop Buddy is probably one of the best applications that Market America has created since they started with the whole IBV partner store program. The way it used to work was, Wesley, you're a new UnFranchise owner. You've got this great website. You've got thousands of partner stores, and you want your friends and family and people that you know to shop online so you can get credit for it toward commissions on the back end, and that way they can earn cash back when they shop. The way it would work is that your customer would have to go onto your website, click on stores, and then all of a sudden you see A to Z. You click on whatever letter it is. For our area, one of the big stores we have is Kohl's. So they'll click on Kohl's, and then you have to page down twice, and click next twice to get to Kohl's and be able to click on that store. And once you click on the store, it would show you the store. And then you click on it again, and it would finally take you to Kohl's, and that's how you could earn cash back, and we would earn incentive business volume on the back end. Now, I don't know what your thought is on it, but most of my customers didn't want to do that. It was too much work. It was too many clicks before they could actually start shopping. Well, what Shop Buddy is it's an application or an add-in that gets installed right into your browser. I think some of them call them add-ins, some of them call them plug-ins, whatever you want. But now with Shop Buddy being installed, and anybody can get this as long as they're not on Safari. It works on Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome. And so they install it. Now, when your customer wants to go shopping, they just go to Kohl's. You go right there, you go to Kohl's.com. Website pops up, and all of a sudden you're going to get a little window in the top right corner that says, this is one of our partner stores. If you'd like to earn cash back, or if you would like to earn, or you would like to see all the hot deals, click here. So they click on the button, it resets the screen, it makes Kohl's know that it came from shop.com instead, and then your customer can start shopping. So it eliminates probably about 5 clicks for your customer, and it makes it a win-win. Not to mention, we have 3,500 partner stores. I don't know who all of them are. I could probably rattle off maybe 25 of them, okay? The rest of them, I have no clue. There's too many of them to know.
Yeah.
But this way, no matter what store I go to, if I'm online and I go straight to, JCPenney's, I go to Sears, I go to Gander Mountain, I go to Bass Pro Shops, so, whatever it is, if they're one of our partner stores, Shop Buddy's going to notify me. It's going to notify my customer right away, and I don't have to go searching for it. So one of your first goals with any one of your new UnFranchise owners, new customers, is to make sure that they get Shop Buddy installed on their browser. And if you're on Internet Explorer and you install Shop Buddy, I believe it installs it on any other browser that you have too, right away.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I believe it does. Any questions on Shop Buddy?
No.
All right. From there, we have register a minimum of 5 preferred customers on AutoShip. AutoShip is also, it's something that we've had for a while, but it's not something that we've really promoted until recently. And they've also updated the system so it makes it easier for our customers and our franchise owners to set people up on AutoShip. One of the bonuses of AutoShip for the customer is if you look at our health and nutrition products, they all have a 30, 60, or 90-day life cycle. So we know it's going to run out. So why not set them up on auto ship so that they get that product before they run out of it, and they're not scrambling to contact you to get the products and then having to wait, 3, 4, 5 days before they get the product again. As the customer, they get an automatic 5% discount for going on auto ship. As the business owner, as the unfranchised owner, you can add an additional 5% if you want to for that order.
Okay.
It's an incentive to get them on auto ship. From a business aspect, it does a couple things for you. First off, it helps to, I wouldn't say eliminate, but make it easier for follow-up. Because I think follow-up was one of the pieces that a lot of people that they fall short on. And so if you can automatically get products to people, then you don't have to worry about it as much. And you don't have to say, okay, you bought a 30-day bottle of multivitamin, you're on day 21, we should probably order some before you run out. That's just, your customers aren't going to, I don't know. As a customer, I don't need somebody calling me every 21 days telling me I need to buy more products.
Yeah,
that's why I try to set up as many people on auto ship as possible. Now, granted, there are some people that you have to do that with. That's just the way it works. Or there's also other customers that they just call you when they're out. They're out of stuff. As you develop your customer base, you're going to see what people are buying the most. And I am going to suggest that you have some products on hand. I'm not saying have a garage full of stuff, but have 2, 3 of items or bottles of particular items that people order on a consistent basis. Not to mention, you'll probably start using products more too. So, the other piece that it does for the business is that now you can pretty much count on the BV. You know that every 30 days this customer has an auto ship that order is going to come through, and you're going to be able to know when it comes in, and it's going to help you toward commissions. And it helps create a more consistent income for you in the future. So as far as numbers of customers, I think we'll look through this later too, but your goal is to be developing 2 new customers a week until you have 10 preferred customers that are ordering from you on a consistent basis.
All right.
Okay. Home business presentation. This is an essential piece of building your business. It's going to be necessary for you to expand points of distribution, and we do that for people. Well, this business is designed to be built in the homes. We have a great training system here, and we have the public meeting every week. But quite honestly, I think people rely on the public meeting system too much. I would much rather have people sitting across the table, showing the business plan, and doing home business presentations. When I started my business with home business presentations because it made the most sense for leveraging my time. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I didn't have a lot of time. I had my 2 traditional businesses and my rental property, and I was single. So I wanted a social life. I did not have the time to go spend, 15, 20 hours a week building this business. So what I did is I did home business presentations. I would have a group of people come over, and we would show the business plan. Here, I had Ty Clinton show the business plan for me in the beginning, Tom Kerr, but we didn't have the videos that are available now. I think that like the one video of Jim Winkler and going through the shop.com site and then going through a compensation plan, that would be a great video to show people in a group setting. When the video is over, you ask questions and you book follow-ups. But this way, you don't have to know how to show the plan right away. I think it's better if you can do it in person. So as your organization starts to develop, that you're showing the business plan. But in the beginning, that's not necessary. You can use the video to do that for you. Not to mention you're giving the same story every time, and you don't miss anything.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to want to set a date or 2 dates, because you want to give people options for home business presentations. How many people do you think that you get to a home business presentation?
I'm not really sure, but I mean, I believe I could probably at least get 5 if I really wanted to.
Okay, then what I'm going to tell you to do is get 10. Here's why. Here's why. Is that people undoubtedly, even if they confirm and say that they're going to be there, still cancel.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so I usually say half of the people that you say that say they're going to show up, show up.
Yeah.
When I did my first 2 home business presentations, I had 15 people at each one of them, and by doing that, I was activated in the first week.
That's
so
good.
I had my first 2 personally sponsored, and then my first year, I sponsored about 14 people. But I probably invited 60 people to each one of those, and the people that didn't make it to the first one, I made sure they came to the second one. That's why I always say book 2 of them right away, probably within a week of each other on different days, if possible. With yours, if you want, what I can do is you can put me on speakerphone, and I can intro the business, and I can give them a little bit of a background for you to help make it easier. So I'll be able to I'll help in any way I can. Creative possibilities list. You've already started working on that. How many people do you have on your list so far?
Let me check. I got it saved on my computer, so.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. I stopped at 30 people.
Okay. Now, that list that you started, is that a list of people that you think will do the business, or is that a list of everybody you know?
That's pretty much people that I think would do the business. It's not of everybody I know. If I went through everybody I know, it would probably be like maybe 200.
Perfect. That's the list I want you to create, because it's a possibilities list. It's not a who do you think will do the business list. There's a couple of reasons why I want you to put down everybody that you know. First, if you have 30 people on your list and you go through the first 10 and they all say no, where are you mentally? Kind of discouraged?
Knocks you down a notch.
Yeah. And the reality is that most of us, and correct me if I'm wrong, don't like it when people make decisions for us. So don't decide for them whether this business is for them or not. The second piece of that is everybody you know knows somebody else that could use more time or more money. And so when I use an approach, and I'll talk about this later, I use a direct referral approach. If it's for you, great. If it's not, who do you know that would want more time or more money? So create that possibilities list. Now, if you have a list of 200 people and you go through the first 10 and they're not interested, then it's mentally you're not discouraged as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you have a whole bunch more people you can contact.
Absolutely. And the thing is, most people don't really wear their financial situation on their sleeve. You know, that you don't really know what their situation is. People tend to be a little more quiet about those things, and they don't really just show, you know, hey, everything sucks right now. You know. And they don't really talk about how they're looking for ways to make money. When I was first approached, I was making a 6-figure income already. I had 2 traditional businesses that were paying me another 6 figures, and I had my rental property. You know, so on the outside, everything looked great. You know, I'm making tons of money, going on vacation a lot. But the reality was I was 30 years old. I was $1 million in debt. And regardless of how much money was coming in, I still had to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And when you have a lot of money coming in, a lot of times it means you have a lot of money going out. And
that's true.
when Eric approached me, he said, "Hey, Ton, I think I found a way we could both make some money. Why don't you come take a look?" I said, "Fine." He didn't realize how important it was for me to have multiple streams of income, because that way if any one stream of income were to go away, I could always have something else to fall back on. So with that being said, don't make the decision for somebody else. Let them decide. And if it's for them, great. If it's not, that's cool too. Not everybody wants to own a garbage collection business. Not everybody wants to be an accountant. Not everybody wants to be an attorney or a doctor or a ditch digger or whatever they're doing. So we can't expect people to want what we have. Not everybody. We're looking for the people that want what we have, the people that want to do something more and they're willing to do something about it. Okay? With your top 30, though, what I will do is I'm going to have you create bio sheets on every single one of them. And you can get that on UnFranchiseTraining.com. If you need me to email it to you, I can. You can do a bio sheet on every one of those. And for every single one of those, I'm going to help you develop an approach for them so that you can say and be as effective as possible with that. Am I saying that I do it the right way for everybody? No. But I'll tell you that after 9 years of building the business, my success rate is pretty high. So if I talk to somebody and I can identify a need, I'd probably say I have a 60% ratio of that people come on board. Okay. So, I mean, and that's pretty good for the industry. The numbers, I'm a numbers guy. I need to know what is it really going to be. 1 out of 4 people that you talk to about the business will sit down and look at it. 1 out of 4 people that look at it will come on board. So in essence, it's 1 out of 16 people that you talk to will come on board. So when you say you've got a list of 30 people, that's great. That means that probably 2 of them are going to come on board. What's
that's
nice
true. That makes sense.
They know people you don't know. People are going to lead to other people. They're not going to come on board to make you rich. You didn't come on board to make me rich. You came on board for your own financial success, and so that's how we're going to develop that. So we're gonna set a time. Let's actually do that right now. When is your next time off that we can start making some phone calls and setting appointments?
I do not have my schedule for next week yet. Hopefully, I will get that tomorrow.
Okay. Then tomorrow I'll expect a phone call from you. Or text message.
Okay.
And
okay, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what day I'm off.
Okay, great. And then what we'll do is we'll block out about an hour of time, and we'll just make phone calls.
Okay.
And usually what that will entail is you give me the person's name. Actually, we'll go through an example of one right now. Give me the name of somebody that you want to approach with the business.
Brian Smith.
Brian Smith. Okay. How do you know Brian?
Oh, it's Ryan actually, but
okay. How do you know Ryan?
yeah, I know of him. I don't know him personally, but I mean we have talked, here and there, but that's just about it. Just friends of friends type thing.
And why would he want to build a business?
Well, to make more money for herself and be able to quit working 12 hours a day in order to make a living.
Okay. And what kind of characteristics do you like about him that you would want to work with him?
Just the fact that he's an honest person and he knows a lot of people. I just think he would be good for the business. He seems like he's a well-motivated person. He's a very positive person.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so then this might be your approach, and I have a script that I use for all the calls that I make. So the call might be, "Hey Ryan, this is Leslie. Do you have a minute?" And I always ask for permission. do you have time to talk? Because if they're busy and they're at work, they can't talk. I like to call people at work because they don't want to work, so they'll talk to me. All right. But you want to make sure that they have a couple of seconds to talk to you. If they say, yeah, no problem. Ryan, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I started a business not too long ago, and I still say that. I don't say 9 years ago. I don't say 2 weeks ago. I say not too long ago because it's really irrelevant. But by saying 9 years, then it seems like you've always got to be doing something. Or if you say 2 weeks, you don't know what you're talking about yet. So I don't want to lose any credibility. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but I started a business not too long ago, and I'm currently in the process of expanding. And I'm looking for a couple of people that want more time or more money. Okay, because that fits with what you think he might want.
Yeah.
I thought of you because, you're a very positive, honest person, and I know that you're well connected, and most importantly, I know that you're open-minded. Now, the open-minded part I put every time, because if you tell someone that they're open-minded, they have to be open-minded.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought of you because you're positive, you're motivated, you're well connected. You may or may not be interested, so I let him off the hook right away. If it's for you, great. If it's not, that's cool too. Maybe you could lead me to someone else that is looking for more time or more money. What I'd like to do is I'd like to set up a time where you and I could get together and I can have you evaluate the business concept to see if it's something for you. And then you book the appointment. When I talk to somebody, when I'm setting an appointment, my goal is to set an appointment, not to explain the business. Not because I want to hide what I do, but because think of it in terms of a puzzle. You had a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I'm on the phone with you for 2 minutes, and I give you 7 of those 1,000 pieces. What kind of picture are you going to see? You're not going to see anything.
Not a very good one.
No, it doesn't make sense. And so my goal is to sit down with them and give them the whole picture rather than just bits and pieces. Now, when we sit down with him, we're going to ask him a few questions. We're going to ask him, a little bit about what he does for a living, what he does for fun. Is he married? Does he have a girlfriend? Does he have any kids? That kind of thing. And then ultimately get to money. When we sit down with him, I'll say, based on what you've told me, if I could show you a way that you could get this, this, and this, based on the questions that I asked him, would you take a serious look at what we have to offer? And the difference for a lot of people, I think, is they like to just show the plan. If you show the plan a lot, that's great. But if you don't find a reason for them to look at the plan, they're not going to look at it. They're just going to listen. They're just going to watch you go through it.
That's true.
The other big mistake that I think most people make is that they try to sell the business and not what the business can do for people. I like saying, what's in it for me from their standpoint. If they're going to look at this business, what's in it for them? What can they get out of it? Not what I can get out of it. Quite honestly, when I bring somebody on board, it's more work.
Yeah.
I like it. I enjoy it. But it's really about helping them get what they're looking for. So over the last few months that we've been talking, we've been developing a relationship. I've learned a lot of things about you and what you want. And so those things are the things I focus on to help you get where you want to go. And so this way, when they're looking, when you're showing a business plan, they're actually looking at it rather than you just talk to talk. Or, if let's say you're using a video, at least they'll watch the video because they want, what can they get out of it for themselves. So we'll go through your top 30. Normally we'll go to a top 10. If you want, you can also create another top 10 list for products. And I'll help you approach the people for products. My philosophy when I first started, though, was I never looked for anybody to buy products. We have millions of products. There's always something that people can buy from us. So what I did in the beginning was I would show the business plan. If they weren't interested in the business plan, then I tried to have them come out, try some products. it's whatever culture you want to go with. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. If you want to just approach people for products, you can do that. But that's just not how I did it in the beginning. So next, develop your answer to what is it. So right now, Wesley, if someone were to ask you what is it, what do you tell people?
I would tell them that we're a product brokerage company. We provide a multitude of quality products and services to consumers and small business owners, while at the same time we allow potential entrepreneurs to take advantage of an incredible business opportunity.
That's probably going to be one of the best what is it I've ever heard of a new person.
Yeah, so that's what I came up with.
For me, I wasn't that creative. You know, I've been a computer programmer. I mean, I was a zeros and ones, man. I was happy with that. And for me, as you can see, there's a couple of examples. The first example that they give here is that Market America is a product brokerage and internet marketing company that specializes in one-to-one marketing and social shopping. If I were to say that to any one of my friends, they'd probably think of what happened to Ton and, you know, when's he coming back? Okay. So what I did is I shortened it, and I just said it's a product brokerage and internet marketing company. For you, I don't want you to sell the business yet. When people ask you what you do, you don't want to try to sell them right away. You go to McDonald's, you buy a Big Mac. They don't say, hey, we've got this great Big Mac that's got, you know, special sauce, you know, lettuce, cheese, you know, hamburger bun or whatever, I forget how it goes. Then they don't go, hey, you want to buy a franchise? Hey, there's this great business here that you can own your own business and own a franchise. Do you want to do that too with your Big Mac? All right. So I would suggest maybe like the first half of what you said is awesome. I would probably hold out for the rest until they have interest in how they might be able to do it, or there's a need for them. Shorter, I think, is sweeter when it comes to your what is it.
Yeah, that's true. Less is more.
Less is more. So for me, I said it was a product brokerage and internet marketing company, and I would leave it at that. If they wanted to ask me more questions, I would answer them. When I'm approaching people and, like, using the script, if somebody says, well, what is it? I'll say, well, it's a product brokerage and internet marketing company based out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And I would leave it at that. I can explain more when we get together. As I've developed my business, though, I've changed it. You know, now people say, well, what is it? What do you do? I'm an internet marketer. And what I do is I teach people how to make money online. That almost always generates more interest. Now, for you,
that's a really good one.
Your what is it is also going to change because you're specializing in web centers.
Yeah.
You know, what is it? What do you do? Well, I partner with a company that allows me to sell websites to small and medium-sized businesses. And if they're a business owner or something like that, or they know people that are in business, that is going to help open doors for you. Your what is it over time will change based on who your audience is. All right, next page. Tools to expose the business. I've pretty much gone through the majority of these. We do three-way calls. We utilize online videos, social networking. We've utilized that a lot also. And then for the organization, I've also got that Do the Work, Make the Money Facebook group. I'm good. I'm glad to see you participating in that. That's awesome. Webinars. We have our catalogs, the UnFranchise business presentation. The presentation that you see in our videos, you can actually download that presentation on unfranchisetraining.com and utilize that if you don't want to use the paper flip charts, okay, that they probably gave you in the subscription kit. I like using a paper flip chart for the majority of people. For a younger audience, I like to use my iPad. For an older audience, I like to use paper because I need to make sure it's duplicatable. I need to make sure that people can do what I do. I don't want them to feel like they have to own an iPad in order to build the business.
That's true.
Okay. The Nutri-Physical, not sure if you've had an opportunity to do that yet, but it's an online nutritional analysis. You can go to it right on your shop.com website. It goes through 13 different areas, asks you a series of questions. Based on how you answer those questions, it'll suggest products for you. This is one of the primary tools that I use when selling products because I was a computer programmer that owned tanning salons. Nobody wanted to hear from me. Okay, not to mention, at the time, 30 years old, I partied like a rock star. If they wanted to talk about different brands of whiskey, we could talk. Okay, and they were more than happy to hear about it. But when it came to health and nutrition products, they thought I was crazy. So what I would do is I would send people to the Nutri-Physical, or I'd have them do the online nutritional analysis right in front of them. That way, again, I didn't have to be the vitamin guy. At the end of it, it suggests products for us. It gives us red, yellow, and green. Based on how you answer the questions, which makes it nice because I don't have to take a medical history on somebody. Based on how you answer the questions, these are the ones in red. These are the ones that you need to be taking. Typically, there's anywhere from 2 to 5 red items. Well, which product would you like to get started with? I would suggest the first 3. And I always say the first 3 because they usually then buy 1 or 2. If I say buy them all, they don't buy any. Okay? But it's a great tool. 6 months to a year later, after they've been using my products, I have them take the Nutri-Physical again because they've probably started to pay attention to their lifestyle and things will change. And so the products that they need to be on might change also. Shopbox, that is not available right now. Shopbox was a tool that we could use within Facebook and be able to have people buy products directly through our timeline. But it only works with our marketamerica.com site. They're still trying to integrate it with our shop.com site. Once that's available, they'll let us know. We have mobile sites, My List we talked about, and then ShopBuddy, which, again, make sure you get that installed, and anybody that you know that wants to earn cash back when they shop online.
Okay.
All right. We are 2 more pages and we'll be done. How are you doing for time today?
Pretty good. I got plenty of time. I'm off today, so.
Okay, great. So your why and your full statement. What people follow is where you're going to go and what you're going to do with this. And so if you can share people your why and why you're building the business, that's what's going to intrigue people and be able to give them something to follow. People don't follow just a good business system, okay? It's not the way it works. I mean, if you look at other companies that are out there, you look at Amway, Herbalife, Shackley, New Skin, and all the other companies that are out there. I mean, Amway has 8 million distributors. We have 180,000. Why do they have so many distributors if they're, in my personal opinion, if their compensation plan isn't as good as ours? It's because they sell a dream, and they're able to show their why and have people follow them. I'm going to do this with or without you. People like to follow that. I'm taking control of my financial future. I'm bringing people with me. Do you want to come with? For myself, my why is my family. When I first started, I didn't have a huge why. I was already making a lot of money. I just wanted multiple streams of income. So I had to be very task-oriented. My why was not a heart-throb why where it would motivate me on a day-in and day-out basis. I had to be very task-oriented. Okay, all right, Tom, tell me what I need to do. All right, you have to talk to 3 people a day. You have to schedule at least 1 appointment and add 2 names to your list every day. I could do that. Beyond that, I didn't know what I had to do, but I knew I could do that. But those are the basics. For myself, my family is huge. With my family, where my wife and I are both stay-at-home parents. I'm home 85% of the time. My wife is home 115% of the time. And that works for us. We enjoy being stay-at-home parents. For a lot of people, their reason is going to be different. And I think that for you, based on some of our conversations, your why could be something to the effect of, I've watched my family, develop a business, for most of my life. They've been very successful with it. But, if the amount of money it takes to start a business like that, the amount of time, energy, and effort that you have to put in and the struggles that goes along with it, I knew that there was a better way. And when I found Market America and the UnFranchise, this is going to be my way to achieve the same financial goals, but without having to go through all those same trials and tribulations. Is that pretty close?
Yeah, that's right on, actually.
Good. Glad to hear it.
And added to the fact that I don't want to punch a time clock for the rest of my life.
Perfect. And share that with people, because people feel that same way. So develop your 2-minute commercial. Really it's a 30-second commercial, not a 2-minute commercial. Don't make it a 20-minute commercial. But it's your why, your reason. From there, we're going to help you develop goals, and we've kind of worked on this. Decide what you want, when you want to find, and what you're willing to do to get there. And from there, moving forward, we're going to be able to develop a detailed action plan on what you need to be doing. So with the detailed action plan, these are some of the minimum. These are some of the things that you want to make sure that you're doing. All of them are good, but I don't always agree with all of them either, okay? So add 2 possibilities every day. Every day we run into new people. We talk to new people. We think of new people. So I say 5 days a week, what your goal is to do is to add 2 possibilities to your list. This is not, again, who do you think is going to be able to do the business, but just a possibility, because that possibility may come on board. That possibility may know someone else. It could be the guy at the gas station. It could be the cashier at the store. It could be the server at the restaurant. It doesn't matter who it is. Because somebody you thought of from high school or whatever pops into your mind. Write them down. And what I did is I carried a little, hand-sized notebook, and every time I thought of somebody, I wrote them down right away. I tried to do it with my phone, and I would always forget. It was too much trouble at the time or whatever. But I always pull out a notebook, write down the name. I knew that if I said, I'll remember it when I get home, I won't forget, I would always forget. Call or text 1 prospect from your possibilities list to expose the product or business. Are you a big texting person, or do you call people?
More texting than calling.
Okay. And I think that, and I don't even really know how old you are either, Wesley, but I know that for
24.
For basically anybody under 25 nowadays, they text a lot more than they talk.
Yeah. It's all texting and Facebook messaging.
Right. For me, I text a lot more. I mean, the fact that I've got over 3,000 text messages a month bothers me. Okay. But if you can call people, I believe you're going to have better success.
Yeah.
For you, though, I mean, when you text somebody, now it's like a normal conversation. It's not weird or different. I like talking because it's harder for people to say no. I can also tell tone, emotion. I can tell what they're thinking almost. With a text message, somebody can say the same thing twice and have completely different meanings.
That's true.
You know, so if possible, I'm going to suggest call. Email, tweet, or Facebook message people about the product or business. Again, during my tenure, we used to call email e-fail because people receive hundreds of emails nowadays. They don't read them all. They don't look at them all. Facebook message, that's a little bit different. I think between text messages and Facebook messages, I believe the open and read rate is in the 90 percentile. So people actually do look at them. Whether they respond or not is a whole other story, but they do look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Expose the business plan daily. That's going to be essential. Because of the goals that you have and the things that you want to do, you're going to need to talk to people about the business. Some people will start, they're just going to talk about the products, and maybe then it'll develop into the business. No, you have to talk about the business. If you want to do all the work yourself forever, fine, just talk about products the whole time. But if you want to create leverage, you want to create an organization, you need to talk about the business plan. So follow up with a prospect. The fortune is in the follow-up. If you show somebody the business plan, you talk to somebody about the product, if you don't follow up with them, nothing's going to happen. You can't expect them to follow up with you. I like concrete follow-up times. So if you notice, the majority of the conversations that we've had, when I've said, okay, let's talk again, I set a date and time for it all. Very rarely did I leave it open-ended, and I'll just talk to you next week. I do that whether you're long distance or I work with you every day. I'm still going to book an actual appointment for us to get together. Invite people to earn cash back on your shop.com site. You can search Facebook and Twitter nowadays to see what people are talking about, to see if you can join in the conversations and help identify needs and provide solutions, and then send status updates. Again, when you do updates, don't be weird. Okay?
Yeah.
Listen to audio daily. Use your Market America products. The more products you use, the more products you will sell. Bottom line. The reason for that is if you touch them, if you feel them, you'll think about it. It'll be in the forefront of your mind. And so when someone brings something up that you could relate back to your products, you're going to talk about it. Read your goal statement twice a day. I'm going to help you develop a goal statement on one of our calls here. I'll probably make that a completely separate call, but I'll help you develop a goal statement that you can utilize. It'll talk about where your goals are, what you want to do with the business, and I'm also going to incorporate a detailed action plan into that so that every day when you meet your goal statement, you know these are the things that I need to be doing every day. From there, you write out your goal statement. For people that are semi-serious about building their business, I tell them, go ahead, write out your goal statement and read it twice a day. Put it someplace that it's going to force you to read it twice a day. Don't just skim through it. So I suggest reading it out loud, because then you have to read it, not just skim through it. But if you really want to get serious about your goal, we'll convert your goal statement into a bullet point list, and we'll have you rewrite your goals every day. Because I'll tell you, that's powerful. Because when you write it, that means you're dedicated to it. Business goals and objectives. Now I'm going to have you fill in some of these things on your Getting Started guide. You had mentioned 10 hours a week. Is that still true?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and write 10 hours in there. Next will be you'll commit how many days and nights per week to your business. Now, based on your schedule, what are you looking at? 1 night a week, 3 nights a week. If you're doing 5 hours, some people will say, I'm just going to do it on my 2 days off. I don't always suggest that. But where are you going to fit this in? What are your thoughts?
I'm looking at a minimum of 3 nights a week. That's absolutely minimum for me.
Okay, so you're thinking about 3 hours, 3 nights a week?
Yeah, it could be 3 hours, 3 nights a week, or I'll probably have some weeks where I'll be able to do 5. It just depends because my work schedule jumps a lot in hours, so my time will just depend on that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put 3 nights a week.
All right.
And I know that your schedule changes often. If you had more of a standard schedule, I'd say, okay, what nights are they going to be? And we would schedule them, and those would be the times that I would make sure that I would do my best to be available for you, that I could help you with your business.
Okay.
But on a week-to-week basis or schedule-to-schedule basis, we'll have to make some times available. Okay. I will personally sponsor 2 qualified independent shop consultants, basically to activate by when. When would you like to identify your first 2 business partners by?
I would say within at least the first 2 months.
Within the first few or 2? I didn't hear you.
First 2 months.
Okay, so today is March 9th. We'll call it 2 months. So go April, May 9th. So put in May 9th for that date.
All right.
So from now until then, now your situation was a little bit different, but it took you a long time to come on board. Okay? The average person will come on board within 4 weeks. Typically, I should say more like 2 weeks. From the time they see it to the time they come on board is on average about 2 weeks. I have brought people on board the same night. If they say they're ready to go, they're ready to go. You have to be able to ask the hard question, but on average, you're looking at about 2 weeks. So if you want to activate and have 2 personally sponsored individuals by May 9th, up until 2 weeks before that, you're going to have to show the plan at least 10 times. You're probably going to have to talk to 30 people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, like I said, 1 out of 4 people will look at the business plan. 1 out of 4 of them will come on board. So you talk to 32, you're going to get 2. Your numbers will be different based on your posture, your excitement, and your lack of weirdness. Okay?
That's true.
So be a business person. Be a professional when you talk about this business. Have posture. Don't try and tuck it under the rug. Sweep it under the rug and be kind of like, well, I kind of got this thing I'm doing on the side. Kind of excited about it. Blah blah. Be like, no, I started a business. I'm going to make this successful. I've got products and services. Which ones would you like? And have you ever thought about owning your own business? You may not say it directly like that, but it's going to be along those lines that you know what you're doing, you know where you're going. You don't need to know all the details about the company. You don't have to know all the details about the products or even the compensation plan. But you need to know where you're going and have posture when you say that. Okay, so from there, in the next month, my goal for you would be to show the plan to those 10 people.
Okay.
I'm just writing this down for myself. Okay. So one of your goals is to reach the coordinator level and earn your first $300 commission check by what I always tell people is I say make that date the same as when you get activated. Because within 2 months, there's no reason why you couldn't have, between you and your organization and myself, have developed 1,200 business volume on your left and 900 business volume on your right. And the reason I say 900 is because when that second person comes on board, you're going to come on board with 300 business volume, and it's going to push you over that 1,200 increment or that threshold and have you earn that first $300 check. So that might be a little confusing, and I'll explain that more in depth as we go along. But you came on board that same day. I placed volume in your business right away. I placed like another 150 BV on one side of your business. So let's go ahead and put down 5.9 for coordinator.
Okay.
Now, to reach the executive coordinator level, which means you've gone through the full pay cycle, you've earned a minimum of $1,500 in commissions. When would you like to do that by? The company average is 8 months. The Milwaukee average is 6 months because we've got a great training system here. I did it in 10 weeks. I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that if you want to go fast, you can go fast. If you want to go slow, you can go slow. So when would you like to have gone through that pay cycle by the first time?
I'm going to say I'm going to go with the average and go with 8 months.
8 months, okay. I personally think that you can do it sooner than that. If I were to set the goal for you, but I won't, but I'm going to say you could probably do it by convention, which would be August 8th. But let's see, so if 8 months from now, that puts us in November. Do you want to do November 1st?
That's what, 5 months away?
Yeah, 5 months is August.
Well, we can go ahead and go 5 months.
That's what I like to hear.
We can go 5 months.
All right, 8. Flip it down. So now let's look at a little bit more of a longer-term goal. What type of annual income would you like to earn? What would make you comfortable? We can talk about. I'd love to say, let's talk about $327,000. Let's talk about $561,000 a year. But I want to set this goal as something that's attainable and achievable, not something that is going to be pie in the sky. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever we do, if you want to make more money, you just go do more of it. Okay.
Yeah. For
me, I had to have a six-figure income. I was not going to touch it unless I could get a six-figure income out of it because I was already making six figures. But that's not everybody's situation. I can't put my goals on other people because my goal is to help you get your goals. It's just going to help me do the same thing. So, what would be a good and then a great annual income for you?
Well, my main goal is for me to be able to quit my current assistant manager job and focus more of my time into my business. So in order for me to do that, I would have to be earning $600 a week, which is $31,000 a year.
$600 a week, which is $31,000 a year. Okay. So let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it $36,000 a year. Okay. And the reason I'm doing that is based on the compensation plan. We base all of our goals on BV and then how many times it takes to go through the cycle. Every time you go through the pay cycle, it's $1,500. And I'm not including bonuses and I'm not including IBV or commission checks. So if you go through the pay cycle twice a month, that's $36,000 a year. So $3,000 a month, $36,000 a year. It's easier to, in my opinion, rather than saying, okay, let's do $2,400 breaking it down, how many times I have to go through the pay cycle. You know, it's 1.5, 1 3/4 times. We'll just say 2. Makes life easy. What's impressive or what's kind of cool about it is that, you know, this is a gross income at a job. You know, let's say you make $100,000 a year. You're only going to take home $65,000 a year. When you have a business, you take home all the money and then you expense the rest of it out. So, I mean, you can make less owning your own business, but still bring in the same amount of income that you would if you had a regular job. So, now, $36,000 a year. What is your target date for that?
Let's see. I want to say 12. I'll say 16 months from now.
16 months. Now,
yeah.
I got to put it into perspective for you. You're saying that in the next 5 months, you're going to make $1,500. But in the next 11 months after that, you're going to bump it up to make $30,000 a year. Is that really feasible?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what would be a realistic number to put on $36,000 a year.
My personal opinion, there's no unrealistic number. It's all about what you're willing to do to get there.
That's true.
I've seen people go from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months, but they also work 45 hours a week, you know, building the business and talk to everybody within 10 feet of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's really not about, you know, what's realistic and what's not. It's what are you willing to put into it to get there.
That's true.
So, $36,000 a year. You know, I would probably say if actually I can just break it down. I can break it down into what it's going to take to make $36,000 a year. Let's call it 2 years. Okay, but you're probably going to have to talk to 10 people a day.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have to schedule 3 appointments a day. You'll probably have to show the plan at least 4 to 5 times a week to somebody new if you want to make that kind of money. Is it impossible? No. The 2 to 3 year plan basically says you be consistently consistent and you show the plan at least once a week to somebody new. That's what the 2 to 3 year plan is. And then you have to duplicate that so the people within your organization do the same thing. So you can make it. Now, on the flip side, you're also going to be doing websites. So you sell 10 websites a year at $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 retail profit, you get $10,000 or $20,000 right there.
Yeah.
That's 10 websites. That's not 100. That's not 1,000. You know, that's 10 websites. So I mean, it's very doable. I mean, you could match your income in 16 months. Some of it will be from commissions, and some of it will be from websites. Would that be fair?
You said 15 months?
Well, you said 16 months. So.
Oh, 16. Yeah, that would be fair.
For me, from the compensation plan, after 6 months, I was making about $1,500 a month. I was only working 6 hours a week, but I probably showed the plan 10 or 12 times in that 6 hours. So I just leveraged my time more. That's all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd rather sit down with 2 people and show the plan than one person. That way, if one person doesn't show up to the meeting, at least I got somebody else still there.
That's true.
So, I mean, we'll put down whatever goal you want, and then we're gonna break it down exactly what you need to be doing on a weekly basis, and from there we can adjust it or we can keep it based on what you're willing to do. Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put down 16 months.
Okay.
So 16 months from now puts us, if it's March now, April, May, June, July. So it'll be July of 2014. Actually, let's just call it 8/8 of 2014. We'll make it convention. I like a lot of my goals, as you'll realize, are from major event to major event. And then you register a minimum of 10 preferred customers online by when?
Let's see. I don't see why I couldn't do that in 30 days. But you saying preferred customers, that's customers that are going to consistently order from you?
Technically, anybody that you register online is a preferred customer.
Okay, yeah, I don't see why I couldn't register 10 people within the first month.
Okay. So then we'll say April 9th. So if you need 10 preferred customers in a month, you're looking at 2.5 customers a week.
Okay.
Okay. Is that right? 2 times, yeah. That's 10. Perfect. I'm Asian. You'd think I'd be better at math. Anyway, personal sales. From there, your goal is going to be using 100 business volume of products for yourself and your household, and moving to the end consumer, your customers, 10 customers, 30 BV each, and 10 IBV. Okay? How does that work? I'm sorry, 30 and 20. So if you look at, you got your kit full of products. You know, there was shampoo, there was conditioner, there was health and nutrition products. Out of that, I mean, if you just look at OPC3 alone, that's 40 business volume. Take the multivitamin, it's about 30 business volume. So it's easy to see that really quickly you could get up to 100 business volume per month that you're personally using. My family uses probably about 450 to 600 BV a month. Because we just, instead of buying it from Walmart or buying it from Walgreens or buying it from wherever, we buy it from ourselves, pay wholesale for it rather than retail, and then that volume pays us back.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on building an organization or a foundation called Base 10 7 Strong. Base 10 7 Strong works like this. With you, you're using in excess of 100 business volume per month. From there, we're going to help you identify 10 customers that are also using products, 30 business volume each, for a total of 300 business volume for 10 customers. So that's 400 business volume. So the base 10 comes from 10 customers that you're servicing. From there, we're going to expand points of distribution, and we're going to teach people how to do what we just did: apply, create, qualify, identify some customers. We're going to help them identify 10 customers, and we're going to teach Tom and Sue to also use a minimum of 100 business volume per month. So if they don't know what they're going to use, we're going to send them to page 6 of the Getting Started Guide and go through a home assessment so they can see what they can be switching over. From there, we're going to duplicate that again. So we're going to help Tom and Sue identify a couple of people that want more time or more money, help them identify 10 customers, and duplicate the process of them using 100 BV and the customers having you buying 300 business volume per month. So that's where our base 10 of customers, 7 distributors strong. Does that make sense so far?
That makes sense.
Okay. So at base 10, 7 strong, as you're the one who started the process of that foundation, at that point, with just 3 distributors on your left and 3 distributors on your right, you're already making $300 a month. If you duplicate that process again, it goes to $600 a month. You duplicate the process again, it goes to $1,500 a month. You duplicate it again, it goes to $1,500 a week. Does it pan out perfectly? Does everybody get 10 customers? No. You may end up having 15 customers that all ordered 20 business volume from you. Tom might have 4 customers that order 1,000 business volume from them. Okay? Sue might not have, you might have 2 customers that just does a little bit, but then Ann and Ben, they sell a ton of products. Just know that the averages, what you're looking for overall, is going to be base 10-7 strong. With that, you can also, when you add in the IBB every other month, you'd also be earning another $300. Any questions on base 10-7 strong?
Yeah, I don't have any questions on that.
Okay, very good. So basically what we've done so far is we've gone through the first half of the Getting Started Guide. We've kind of gone through, developing your own franchise, your why and your goal statement, some contact information for what you need help on, the commitment for yourself and what you're going to do with the business. We've set some dates. I think it's always important to set some dates on what you're going to do and when you're going to achieve them. We talked about some result-producing activities. I'm going to go through the top 10 or the top 30 with you in approaching your prospects. We talked about some about your why and your goal statement, your 2-minute commercial, and we've talked about a detailed action plan. The action plan, a general action plan, just for right now until we can work on your specific goals and make a detailed action plan for that. I'm going to say talk to 3 people a day, book 1 appointment. In the beginning, it's all going to be brand new plans that you're showing people or some for products, but a minimum of 1 new plan a week, and then adding 2 names to your possibilities list each day. From there, if you add 2 people to your list every day, 5 days a week, okay, that's 52 weeks of the year. That's a lot of people. You're never going to run out of names if you just continually do that. Yeah. And I've got some tips and tricks on how you can always be adding names to your list, but we can go through that another time.
All right.
So the follow-up appointment, we're going to set another appointment for this to go through the follow-up, especially for the number 1, actually 1, 2, 3, for 1, 2, and 3 of the follow-up appointment. I'm going to want you to read through those, and if you have any questions for the next appointment that we set up, we'll go through those questions, but I'm going to have you review your why. I'm going to have you tell me your why. I just told you what to think about, what to possibly put in this call, but I'm going to ask you these questions when we go through it. Your answer to what is it? Your answer to what is it needs to be immediate. Somebody asks you what you do. I'm an assistant manager at this store. That's what you do. Okay? You don't have to think about it. That's what you do. Someone asks you what is it, what do? You need to have an answer because that's the first place, the first point of contact that establishes posture with what you're doing. And then we'll go through the rest of this. I know I keep asking, but are there any other questions that you may have on the first half of the Getting Started Guide?
No, you pretty much covered it pretty detailed.
That was my goal, is that I wanted to make sure that we went through this in detail. I think a lot of people will skim through this, and they won't put the correct amount of attention and detail to it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this back up for questions. So if anybody else on this call has any questions about some of the things that we've gone through, please feel free to speak up. I did not mute all of you. Hopefully you muted yourselves. But either hit *6 to unmute yourself or unmute your phone, whichever way works.
Tom, where did you say the bio sheets are? Is that UnFranchiseTraining.com?
Yeah, on UnFranchiseTraining.com, under Other, you scroll down, you'll see a bunch of stuff from Elizabeth Weber, and you'll see a momentum sheet, which I like to use, that'll help you track 3 contacts a day, 1 appointment, and adding 2 possibilities. But below that, I believe there's a prospect bio sheet. And from there, that prospect bio sheet will lay out name, different characteristics, hot buttons, and makes it easier for your senior business partner to help you approach that prospect.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and conclude the call. Wesley, tomorrow I expect to hear from you to figure out when we can sit down and talk again. I'm hoping that it doesn't go 2 hours again. It may, okay, but I think that there's a lot of pertinent information. Even though I've told all these things to you once, I'm sure I will have to explain and help educate and give you more information about the things that we've talked about. But feel free, anytime that you have questions, comments, concerns, rebuttals, please feel free to